Well, no more countdown, or at least for not for right now, because I didn't hit it in time. Do you guys want to see the countdown? I really don't care, but hey, let's welcome everybody to the Twisted Pair.
And I'm sitting here. Now you get to see what we do when y'all are getting the countdown. As you see, I'm sitting here adjusting myself, playing with my hair, like do 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 do.
I'm usually dancing to the music.
Yeah. So welcome to the non-countdown twisted pair in us in our natural habitat.
Oh, we're making it real. But so
Yeah.
welcome to the Twisted Pair. I'm Graybeard, as everybody knows, and I'm sitting here at the UG. What's up, UG?
Oh, you know what? I'm sitting here, and by the way, I am ash red, and I actually have my kimono to wear to put on, and I forgot it. I mean, it's just like boop, but oh well. Anyway, I was gonna wear a kimono for y'all, but I'll just have to save it for another time.
Well, we're gonna have to do a sushi visit part two just to see the kimono because I want to see you in that kimono. I mean,
And I too, from Japan. I have a roommate that I live with that's from Japan, and she sends them to me. They're absolutely beautiful.
well, so we got to do this again. Okay, so well, I mean, you can probably see from the background, and we've already talked about Japan. And if you've been following us, Red and I have been kind of excited about this. In fact, we just took and threw Bert, who does our graphics, Bert B. Smoking, who does our graphics, and we threw him for a loop because we said that we were going to do
And
Lanceros because it's Lancero month, but instead she and I are just talking back and forth, and it was like, no, let's do something different. Let's do sushi, and I'm like, yeah, let's do sushi and Japanese whiskey. And we don't let Bert know until Sunday when he's already making the graphics for us. So, Bert, apologies for that. But so this is sushi night with Japanese whiskey, or in
sushi
Red's
for
case,
you.
yeah. So start off with you. Let's see what you got.
Okay. So, and I'm gonna start off because I said it's sushi for you. It's not sushi for me. So, it is what I describe as a sushi that's been torn apart or never wrapped. So, I have a poke bowl, and believe it or not, it is from Japan. But I do want to say this: Japan, not Japan. It's from Hawaii. Hello, let me get this straight. It is from Hawaii, and the thing about Hawaii, if you've ever been or visited, you will know it's got a lot of Japanese and Chinese influence. So they kind of like took what was on the sushi and kind of created their own thing and kind of took it from their land. So if you can see, it is all
Ooh.
in a bowl. So you have like different tunas over here. And I have spicy tuna and I have regular tuna. I also have salmon, salmon, salmon,
Salmon.
salmon, salmon. I'm like not thinking today. So I have those, and then you have like your cucumber, like what you would find in a sushi. You have your little Japanese kind of cheese, and then you have your rice, and then you have the cinnamon, the seeds on top. But here's the cool thing about this is it was made. Your first intention is you want to mix it all together and stir it all up and eat it together like that. It is meant to enjoy one bite at a time. You're not supposed to mix it up and stir it. So that way
Really?
you can, yeah. And this is really cool because you can explore the different bites and different things on how you want to do it. So that is why they did it. They didn't want every single bite to be the same. They wanted you to pick your own bite and not to mix it up.
Now, see, I would have immediately mixed it up because I mean, I kind of equate that. I mean, because we are Texans here, as a burrito bowl.
Yeah.
Where it's a burrito in a bowl. So I think of it as sushi in a bowl. So I would have just immediately started mixing it up, just like you do your burrito bowl, like from Chipotle or what have you. So that's interesting that they give it to you with the intended of you eating it all separately.
Yeah. And so, and you have like, if you kind of look, that like everything's like kind of in a cluster, you see?
Yeah.
So that's why it's in a cluster. So you have like like the little chives, then you have onions over here, and then like granted, you're gonna get that. But if you notice, like all the little I forgot what these things, anime, or however you call it, they're all over here. The cucumber's right there. So, I mean, it's really cool how it's done that because a lot of us kind of mix it. And I was like doing the research on it because I was like, oh, it's from Japan. No, Hawaii. And it was made to not mix up. So you are supposed to explore your food. And they're big about that. So
Well,
there
I
you
like that, and that kind of fits with our theme. Explore the food, explore the pairings, explore the drinks.
go. And so this is my Japanese whiskey that I have. And it's Akashi Ume. And it is more, it's a jump, Japanese plum flavored whiskey. So it's been aged in a whiskey barrel for 12 months, and I'm trying to remember which whiskey barrel it is, but it's off the coast of Japan. And some people are like, well, Japan's kind of like an island, and it's all around the coast. Well, let me tell you, some parts of the city are closer to the coast versus up in the mountains. So there you go. So don't come at me with that. So
I love it how people have got to politically correct or semantically correct you. I was saying, I
yeah,
mean, when you think about it, off the coast of the United States, we've got the same number of coasts as Japan does.
but
So
we're
you
bigger.
essentially, we just got more. We just got more land. Landfill.
So anyway, so come and that's why I said don't come at me to sit there and say that because um, they want you to know that. But so that's what I have. It's been aged for about a year, and so they said it can be drunk neat with ice, and it's also like with soda. Like this one is used with a soda. So I thought that was interesting. I was like, hey, that'd be kind of cool to try it with a soda. So I don't know. So we're gonna see how this all pans out. Oh, and then my cigar is with because like I thought I had a K by Karen Cameroon. I thought I had a couple of them because I did have a 5 pack, but I think I smoked them.
Well, they're so good.
So I am going with I have not I've only smoked this once on the show, and so I am going with the Rockefeller Habano right here. So it is a Toro size. It is a 6 by 52. So that's what I'm going with tonight. So we're gonna see how this goes because I kind of wanted a natural chill cigar that's not gonna be like too much because I've got really spicy tuna. So
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how all that pans together, especially with the whiskey and how these work together. So
so what
I've
you got?
got I've got two different sushi rolls. Okay, so this one is indeed the dragon roll. Okay, and so this this has, let me tab over here. So this has spicy crawfish. No, that's the hurricane. No, this one, this is the so it's got avocado, unagi, and shrimp tempura, made to look like a dragon. This inside out sushi roll is traditionally filled with eel and cucumber with slices of avocado designed to look like the scales of a dragon. Which I kind of think it kind of does.
I'm sitting here trying to, it's like so tiny on my little phone.
And then I've also got a hurricane roll. And so this is the hurricane roll. And the hurricane roll is spicy crawfish, cream cheese, wrapped tempura fried, and then sliced and put on the scallion tobiko with eel sauce, spicy mayo, and sriracha.
That's gonna be interesting, like with the sriracha with the cigar.
Yeah, I don't
That
I don't know if this particular restaurant did this sriracha. I mean, I see the smoked eel sauce, and the smoked eel sauce is on both of them. And then I have got a shibui grain select, and this is a single grain, and the grain is a wheat, and they're doing a continuous column still. It is triple cast, so this is aged first in a bourbon barrel, then an Oloroso sherry cask, and then finally in a Japanese Mizunara oak, which is that's that kind of really greenish oaky. And so it's
See,
going to be interesting how this is going to go. And then I actually do have the K by Karen Cameroon.
so I went and looked. Mine is blended with Akashi whiskey blend.
Ooh,
But the barrels, it's in
yeah,
that. Like I remember reading it, but and it's a green plum.
very interesting. All right, well, let's do this. This is, and I was talking to Chef, and I was talking to Corey, who is the leader and founder of the Trinity River Whiskey Cartel, and he's here, and really intrigued. And I was also talking with TC, and we see that TC has tuned in with what our thoughts are on these. You know how these are going to go. So this is going to be interesting. And you and I were talking about how this is probably going to be one of our most challenging pairings.
Okay, and this was, and it kind of came about, and I'm going to kind of say this because it came about with my boss at the cigar lounge because he, and I'm going to pick on him for a minute, and we can pick on him about this next week. Um,
Oh, we will.
is,
We will.
yeah, is he had a tuna melt for dinner, and then he lit up a cigar, and that kind of made me think about like, hmm, tuna. What about sushi in a cigar? Because it's kind of like I've seen a couple pictures, but it's like I really don't really see it a lot, you know. And so I'm so glad that you like were totally on board with this because I think it's something that needs to be explored. And I love sushi,
I do too.
and so I'm excited and anxious about it. And because like you don't really see a lot of pairings, like seafood pairings with cigars because it is such an overwhelming taste and smell. Like think about fish; it lingers in there forever.
Well, I will tell you that the at the sushi restaurant. So I've got mine from Imperial Sushi
Mm-hmm.
and Hibachi Lounge or restaurant in up in Euless. And when I was talking with them about what I was doing, they were intrigued, but they also had that kind of concerned look on your face, like no, you can't pair you can't do our sushi with a cigar. So it's going to be interesting. I'm going to visit with the whiskey first, and
Okay.
then introduce the food.
Well, this is my first time having this cigar, so um, I'm also curious, about the cigar, and I haven't had the whiskey. So I mean, it's like a I've had poke bowls. I really like those. So it's gonna be like two firsts for me tonight, popping that cherry.
There you go. I mean, as you know, I've smoked this cigar many times. We both have, and I've had sushi from this restaurant, and I've had both of these rolls many times. And this is one of my favorite sushi restaurants. Never had the whiskey, and
Hmm.
I've never had all of this together. So
Yeah.
I've never paired sushi with a cigar before. So this is completely new. I have no idea how this is going to go.
Okay. And I think Terrence, were you asking for Graybeard's whiskey price for that? Because I'm wondering whose whiskey price you were asking for.
So mine is a $55 bottle. But what's interesting is that it's a screw top. It's not a
They're
cork.
for the court because of the price of shipping and all to make all that stuff. And the court goes back on, and we kind of talked about that. And mine is like around $35, like 34, 35, and mine was from Total Wine.
And
So
this is a $12 stick, $12 cigar. It's one of my favorite Cameroon
mhm,
cigars, hands down. You know,
mhm,
you know how I really enjoy Cameroon.
mhm.
Um, It's it's one of the best. Okay, so Terrence is asking about the price of yours. So you said yours is about $35,
It was like 34.97 or 34 something like that. So about 35. So
about $35. I mean, and Japanese whiskey is really not that expensive. Not when you take it and compare it to price point to other single malts. Especially your Scotch, where a $60 to $70 bottle is going to be a lower end bottle for Scotch.
well,
You can find $35 to $40 of Japanese whiskey easily.
and the thing is, like, what I noticed, like, when the thing about Japanese whiskey, if like you were to even put it like in a bottle with no label on it, I think I would be able to kind of pick it out because it's it's light in color. It's not as, I don't want to say it's like a watered down, like golden color, but compared to most of our whiskeys, it's a darker color. So, I mean, tell me if I'm incorrect, but I mean, tell us about Japanese whiskeys. I don't really know that much about it except for they're made in Japan. But,
So they're made in the tradition of Scotch. So with the single malts and the single grains, they follow the same rules as what Scotch does. So it's got to be aged a minimum of 3 years. It's got to be pot stilled or column stilled, proof entry. Single grains follow the same rules. Single malts follow the same rules. So with as far as the colors, you'll find a lot of single malts that are lighter colors. So they start getting the darker colors depending upon the barrel aging
okay.
that they're doing, especially now that there's barrels from the bourbon barrels. The big difference with Japanese whiskey as opposed to Scotch is that Japanese whiskey does more or produces more single grains as opposed to what Scotland does. Scotland does produce single grains, as does Ireland and as does Wales and many of the European countries. But Japanese whiskey is really known for their single grain, which mine is a single grain. There's no malted barley in it, and a
Yeah.
and a single malt is indicates that it's predominantly uh, has malt in it. Okay,
Okay.
all right, let me show this. Let me show this here.
And I can't respond to comments, y'all, so please know that I am not ignoring y'all. I just can't respond.
Okay, so Terrence says I have found I have found a lot marked as Japanese, but are made in the U.S. or Canada, and really what's they're marked as Japanese is because it's distilled in Japan,
But
but
it's bottled.
they'll import it and bottle it here.
Hmm.
And so that's where a big difference on that one is, and you'll see that on even on a lot of scotches as well, is because I don't know the reason why, but you'll find a lot of scotch and a lot of European whiskey where it'll be distilled and produced in, but distributed by or imported by, and you'll see that on the bottles.
And mine's 100% Japanese. Just kind of
Yeah,
FYI. Bottled
my,
here and everything.
mine says that it was produced in Japan, imported by a company in California, and so it was brought in that way.
Mine's
But
all.
thank you, Terrence. That is definitely a good talking point for that. So this is good.
So I
Uh,
haven't tried mine yet. It reminds me of port. You know how I had that white port
mhm,
that I was drinking, and it's very like plum, apricot, like fresh. I call it spring fruit. You
right?
know, off the trees, right? And that's what it smells like. Is like it's kind of just like I was like really. I knew it was gonna be like a plum smell because mine's with the plum in it, but I wasn't expecting it to be like that much because usually you can get that whiskey smell as well.
Yeah, and it's not as much. You don't get that as much on your Highlands, your Speyside Japanese whiskey, and Japanese whiskey tends to follow more along the lines of what you get out of Highlands or Speyside, or even Irish whiskey. So it's much more floral. It's much more fruity in its
Mm-hmm.
opening notes. It's much more soothing to the palate
Mm-hmm.
than what you would have in your bourbons, your ryes, and your islays.
Okay, this is going to be dangerous right now because um, this is freaking good. So I think I went cigar. I wasn't even really paying it. Yeah, I went from drink to cigar, and I got like a complete floral
Yep,
in it,
I could definitely see that.
and it kind of reminded me of a Croix d'Orsay,
Oh,
and that's why I went whoa. I was like really, I almost said like what the fuck. Excuse my French, but
you just did.
yeah, I did. But that's what went in my mind was that because I was like, yo, this is good. Yeah, I
So
didn't
so
like.
it took the Nicaraguan and went back to the homeland of Cuba.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, what? It's like you could. I was gonna say you can do because you feel that spice. You have that, because it's like
Hmm.
on this one. So I was really
Well,
really shocked.
for me going from cigar to the whiskey, which I haven't gone whiskey to cigar yet on this, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. You're going to know exactly what I'm talking about with this pairing. So this is a single grain. This is a wheat, and going from the Cameroon wrapper cigar to the whiskey, the cherry notes, the black cherry, the black fruit notes are really coming forward on this. You don't like something.
No,
You got
I know, I know. It probably looks like I don't like it, but it's I'm inquisitive because I'm trying to figure it out. Because now it's like I don't want to say charred, but it's like a smoke. It's very like whenever you have like on the top of the brisket, if a brisket is done really really well, it's got that like the salt and the pepper. Okay, that's what it is. Hello, as I'm sitting here talking, excuse me, as I have to think through it. So like how you have the salt, like
hmm
I do garlic salt and garlic powder
I
mixed
do
with
too.
my white pepper on my brisket, right? And
S-
you get a
Spice
nice
Band al Yeah, Spice Band always gives me a hard time because of how much garlic I use.
so it's got that good char, and that's what you want. That's what it tastes like, and you pick up, it's almost like a wood on it, like So that's why I was looking like that. But Bert said that his hold on that his was like a home run. Like as I'm going back, he says that he is smoking. What did he say? What is it? The Viaje. I can't even pull it up anymore. The honey
There you go.
grenade. Yeah, the Viaje honey and hand grenade. Um, and he's doing the Maduro on that one, and he's saying that the pokey to the Viaje is excellent. The spicy sauce brings out the spice in the cigar, and that's what I'm hoping for. That is what I'm really hoping for.
Mm. Okay, so the dragon roll to the cigar.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
That is interesting. That is nice.
So you
It,
went with cigar first, right?
no, I did dragon roll. I did sushi to cigar first.
Yeah, food to cigar. Sushi
Yeah,
to
and that brings out a really a you know how you get, and we usually see these in you know, like a nice Connecticut shade, or a sun grown Corojo or Criollo, to where it has that crispy sense to it.
Mhm.
It's like a really clean, crispy sense to it.
Mhm.
That's what I get
Hmm.
going from the dragon. And this is a dragon roll, which has got the spiced tuna in it. It's considered a spicy roll. Going from that to the cigar, the the earthy notes are really there, but it's like on a fresh spring day. It's the only way I can think of it.
So I'm gonna be brave, and I'm just doing it raw. I'm just gonna go for because I want y'all to see it's not cooked. Hello, I don't do cooked meat. So it's very spicy, by the way, which I like.
Mm.
Wow. Hmm. It's like sweetness.
Hmm.
It's like a honeysuckle. Like you were sitting there talking about that spring thing, and it's a freaking. They're gonna. People are gonna say like you are smoking crack or something. But I've got to see what these comments are. Hello. Um, Look, Les Love is sitting there trying to konnichiwa. Thank you. But holy cow, this is like I'm rocking the tuna with the cigar.
Oh man, I'm telling you, I'm thinking that I need to go back to Imperial and talk them into letting me do a pairing live out there on their porch
Hmm.
because this is just that good. And I've introduced the whiskey into it.
Mm.
And I'm sorry I can't describe the notes that I've got on it because my mind is right now is just blown away. I was hoping this was going to be good, but I was not expecting it to be like this.
Do you know, like, holy cow, this is like, I was like scared to, I was scared of this, but I was like, you know what? Let's see if it's a good pairing. Why not?
Hmm.
And I'm getting like I just added like everything that you would for like if I did a sushi roll. So I added like all the veggies, I added the rice and the meat. And it was it's like it brings out a sweetness, because remember I said when I did cigar and uh the whiskey to the cigar, it was it was like a floral. And now it's kind of like what you said. It's like a spring day, and it's like when you're smelling the honeysuckles, you got a little bit of like green grass that's growing and sweet flowers. That is it, and we're not even smoking like the same wrapper or fillers.
No,
It,
now
we're
now
completely
now when
different.
now when I went from the sushi to the cigar, and then while I still had some sushi, chewing on some sushi, then went to the whiskey, introduced the whiskey, and then the cigar. It brought out pepper, that cross between the white pepper and the black pepper out of the cigar, which the cigar doesn't have pepper
Mm-mm.
in it. That is interesting, and that bite had some avocado in it, which there were some concerns about whether or not the avocado was going to overpower. No, I mean it's such a beautiful balance of all the different flavors. No flavor overpowers any, but it's bringing out flavors in the cigar
This
that I was
is.
just like, okay, this is cool.
I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. This is like freaking insane. I wasn't expecting this. And excuse my big bite, y'all.
Mm. No, I've already got half of a roll down.
Holy cow! It's just like, now I'm gonna do my whiskey.
Mm.
It's like a fresh, clean. The salmon is like a fresh, clean taste with all the veggies.
You've got to do this. Okay, I want to see if you get the same experience.
Okay, what?
Take a bite while
Take
the
a bite.
food's still in your mouth. Take a big draw for your cigar,
Okay.
and circulate the smoke while you're chewing.
Well, can I? I need to try. Give me a minute to do that because I want to do my whiskey. Well,
Okay,
no, I'll forget. I'll forget. So let me do
I
that because my ADHD.
I want to see if you get the same experience of what I just got.
Okay, now tell me what again I need to do.
Now, while you're chewing on that,
Hmm.
take a big draw with the smoke in your mouth. Then continue chewing.
It's almost like it's smoked.
Yes, yes.
It's like I smoked and it kind of chilled out the spicy tuna because I did a spicy tuna bite on that,
Hmm.
and it just kind of mellowed it out, but it didn't make it completely disappeared. It tasted like it was off of a grill.
It,
Like I just
it
got it off the grill.
exactly, and it reminded me of our poor man smoked, smoked whiskey.
Oh.
But I mean, that was yes, that was
But you can still taste like the other flavors of the food is still bold.
all
So
right. So I'm going over to the hurricane now.
I'm gonna drink my whiskey and my cigar. It's kind of like too sweet with my whiskey, but then with okay, then it has a burn which I haven't had on that, which is
I
weird.
I
In
got
food.
so I was picking up a burn off of the whiskey
Mm-hmm.
when adding the whiskey. I was picking up a burn, a burn off of the whiskey
Yeah.
that I hadn't been getting.
Yeah. And I hadn't either. And then I just had the cigar, and it kind of tasted like it was like it's the cigar. It didn't enhance or take away.
I'm not sold on the hurricane roll with because the hurricane roll has got the deep fried crust on it,
Uh-huh.
and that was so far on the first bite. We always revisit
Yeah. Well,
with
and
with
then
with, with the first bite. It's almost like the bread, the deep fried crust is drowning out everything else.
well, Bird is saying his sake is too floral to pair with the cigar, which excuse me, that's kind of like what we have found with sake.
Yeah,
Good, but the spicy pokey to the cigar is fantastic. So cigar and pokey are like chilling.
the cigar and yeah, the cigar and the sushi is chilling, but I'm not sold on this one yet.
Okay. Now here's what I did. I just took a bite of rice, edamame, cucumber, and onions. No meat. And I went to my cigar, right? I got, like that earthy taste, kind of like the dirt taste.
Hmm.
I didn't get meat to it. So that's one advantage about doing like the poke bowl is like you're like, okay, how's gonna rice gonna taste with the cigar with vegetables? If you do it or a veggie sushi roll. There you go.
So the hurricane,
Hmm.
adding the cigar, nothing. I it's like I'm smoking a flavorless. It's like I'm going back to when I first started smoking cigars. And we hear a lot of people say is all I pick up is tobacco. All
Uh-huh.
I pick up is the smoke with the hurricane, and I really think it's the breaded component, it's the deep fried component of it.
Okay, because I was gonna ask.
I'm going to add the whiskey in the mix now. And this is something that Chef and I were talking about beforehand. If we were concerned if the deep fried was going to just overpower everything.
Kind of like the chicken.
Hmm.
Hmm. So, food, cigar, and then my whiskey. Very, very good. But it's got that burn. When you put it with the food, it burns. I mean, like not a bad burn, but it's just like before we hadn't experienced it, completely experienced it. I wonder why that is. That's like insane. Like what characteristics in the food is it? Like something acidic in the food to create that?
I'm wondering if it's maybe the spicy tuna,
But I even did it with the regular salmon.
just with the regular salmon.
Hmm.
Okay, so Bert's giving you a challenge. Try the spicy tuna, rice, and onions, then do your cigar, no whiskey.
I did that, but I'll do it again and let y'all know because I was like yummy, yummy. I mean, I probably was just an O in my mouth, you know.
And Terrence says, it's the tempura, and I think he's right. I think it's because with the hurricane roll, they're deep frying the tempura, and that's what's taking it, and it's overpowering because both rolls have tempura in it, but the dragon roll doesn't isn't deep fried, and the
Wait,
hurricane roll is.
so did he say spicy tuna? Right?
Spicy tuna, rice, and onions.
Okay. Spicy tuna. Okay, hold on. Get these beans off the chicken there. Okay. Spicy tuna and some onions and rice. I feel like I get to create my own little. I think I'm exploring the taste of things.
Okay. Just cleansed my palate with the ginger, and that came out good.
It's still that the spring, but I will say the little onions
Hmm.
are like very, very like powerful on that.
Okay. Are you hearing a beeping noise?
Yeah, it's me. I'm turning it off. Hold on.
I had to check the battery power on my headphones. Oh,
No, it was me. It's me. I'm red. But
all
you
right.
can still taste the onion like afterwards. That little onion, I guess, like you know how sometimes like some of the onions are like really powerful,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll just be one. That was it. I got a really powerful onion.
Mm.
Mm. This is like insane. I was not expecting this. This I was like seriously nervous about like the raw fish, you know,
No,
hanging out
this
with.
is really good, and it's definitely the deep frying of the tempura because I just went back to the dragon roll,
Hmm.
and the notes and the flavors of the cigar are right back.
Mm.
Man, if I didn't know better, I would say that I was drinking a rye right now and not the Japanese whiskey.
Yeah, because it and even like because I have plum, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
and I can't even taste it. Like this is not what I first started out with, which is insane. But then if I don't eat anything, I don't have any food like in my
Hmm.
cheeks. You know how rice likes to hang out there.
Hmm.
It goes back to the plum.
Have
It's
you
insane.
have you introduced any wasabi yet?
Mm.
I'm a.
They don't put wasabi with the poke.
Oh, really?
No,
Well,
that's
I'm
that's a, that's a like that's a Japanese thing.
I will venture out
Go
for
graveyard,
us,
go!
and I just
I want. I see. I'm like getting in here because I want to see your facial expression.
can you see the amount of wasabi that's on there?
That's a lot. That's like a. You're gonna be like he's insane for putting that much on there. I just do it.
Mm.
Tap. A tappy tap. So I'm gonna do like just the little beans. I just want to try my beans with my or peas or whatever this is in the whatever food family and try it.
Oh wow, that is. Mm. It's almost like we added a couple of lajero leaves into the cigar,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not taking away of any of the existing flavors at all.
It's more of the earthy taste with just a sweetness to it,
Hmm.
which I kind of expected because, that's kind of like how they taste. It's very earthy. So I'm not shocked about that. But I'm gonna have to say this is like I could totally dig this, like, and do this like almost on the daily because
Um,
it is really good. Oh, I want to put spicy cumin. I can't. I need speech today, so
you need speech therapy today?
yeah. And I even went and saw the speech therapist today at my school to discuss stuff with her. So I'm gonna try that with just a bite of that with my yummy food. Just see if the
Now,
two fish kind of do that anything with it.
now I'm adding wasabi and ginger.
Look at you. I'm a ginger.
You are. So Bert brings out and says the sake brings out the sweetness of the cigar, but then it leaves a slight bitter aftertaste. Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what we were experiencing
Oh,
too.
mm-hmm.
But I still want to go back and revisit. I want to go back and revisit the sake, and because I, I think we can find a good pairing that works. Our pairings weren't bad,
Mm-hmm.
if I remember right, but they weren't.
It wasn't. It was just like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to go back and revisit that at some point in
Hmm.
time, and I definitely want to go back and revisit mead and explore mead a bit more.
Oh, this right here was very like how I've gotten sweetness from each time.
Hmm.
So I did the two fish, and it was more of like the earth leather type, which I think that it wasn't like that floral, which is really interesting.
Mm. Have you ever had a bison steak?
Mm-hmm.
You know that really deep, thick, rich, gamey note that you get out of a nice cut of meat from a
Yeah.
bison steak.
Yeah.
And so on that particular bite, it had a nice big cut of eel on it
Hmm.
with the wasabi and the ginger and everything else, still the cucumber and everything else. But as I took a draw off of the cigar,
Mm-hmm.
immediately reminded me of that deep, really thick, deep, gamey type note.
Hmm.
Oh man, this has been good.
Mm. Now, okay, I did the two meats together with the rice and my beans and a cucumber.
Okay.
The cucumbers, y'all saw how big they were.
Yeah.
Drink my drink, and I got my floral back, like the plum, you know, which I think it's because of the sweetness of the cucumber. It
Well,
brought that out.
and a cucumber will cleanse your palate too.
Hmm.
Cucumber and ginger will, both, star fruit. Those will
Right.
cleanse are foods that will cleanse your palate. So it's interesting that you're getting. So yeah, you're getting that sweetness, but you're also getting that cleansing at the same time. So that may have had that effect.
All I'm saying is it was num num, and I liked it. So, um, it was good. This is dangerous, and I was kind of nervous. I'm gonna admit something, and I didn't even tell this to Graybeard. He doesn't know this. I have a dark,
Uh
deep
oh.
secret.
Uh oh.
I've had, you know, several sips of Japanese whiskey that I've tried, and several of them have been from bottle nights, other things, other friends, everything. And I haven't been a huge fan of Japanese whiskey. And then I had someone bring it up to work, and I really liked it. That Japanese whiskey was so good. I took a picture of it, and I was like, "Ooh, this is really, really good." And then, like, this is kind of, like, y'all know I love my port. I love my red port. I
Mm-hmm.
love my white port. Like, I'm a port girl. I'm a so anyway. And this is just reminding me of my white port. Like, I did like a big old glass. So we will probably find me underneath the covers tonight and
Uh oh.
being able to sleep well. But I'm gonna say, like, what was it, the pairing that we said that we really, really enjoyed and that it knocked it out of the park was the burger, right?
Yes, the burger.
When was the burger? Was that last week?
That was last week.
I think this is way better than the burger.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, I'm really enjoying this as I go halfway out of the camera. So Um, and I was very nervous because, especially with the Japanese whiskey, and I think that's probably why I went for more. I don't want to say of a dessert Japanese whiskey, but let's call it like it is. I like that
Hmm.
sweetness to things, and but then I was scared it might be too sweet for the food, because here's the thing: is if you think about fish. We're going to explore our tongue for a moment. Okay, we're going to take a journey on the tongue. Fish always gives you a salty taste. You don't
Hmm.
really need to add a lot of salt to fish, because if you do when you're cooking it, it's just like it screams the salt. Okay. So it's got that natural salt. Then you have sweetness and salt. And sometimes, if it's done well, you can knock it out of the park and it's really, really good. But at other times, it can be too much. And then it's like I was sitting there thinking about the cigar. I was like, okay, I want a natural cigar, but I also want some spice to it. So that's why I went with my cigar. But then I was thinking, okay, I also have the spicy tuna. Is that going to be too much for it? And And the crazy thing is like I haven't had anything to eat. I cleansed my palate. And you know how like after you eat, like, the fish, and especially if it's raw, you still get that sea taste in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I taste. It's like I have that sea salt taste in my mouth from the fish. That's what's lingering on. It's not the cigar. And sometimes, a lot of times, we'll have a cigar that lingers in our mouth, or
Mm-hmm.
we'll have the whiskey that lingers in our mouth.
We're
But I'm not getting either of those. I'm getting the fish. So, I mean, I was going to ask you, what are you getting for lingering? What's lingering in your mouth, Graybeard?
oh, I'm not even going there with that one. Um, I'm getting a little bit of a mixture, a little bit of a mixture of the fish. Definitely not getting the whiskey. Uh, Plus, this whiskey doesn't have a long finish as it is.
Right.
Um,
And I'm going to say a lot of Japanese whiskeys don't.
no, not from my experience.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Um,
Not from our experience.
Definitely the fish, which is that's understandable because fish
Hmm.
is going to have a very long finish.
It does.
Um, but I'm still getting some of the smokiness, and
Hmm.
not smokiness from the tobacco, but smokiness like if you were grilling, like you said, smokiness from the cigar in the finish. So I'm getting like it's almost like it's a smoked tuna.
Hmm. Oh my! I was about to say. Oh, there it goes.
The worst time for a lighter to go out while on the
Hmm.
show. So Bert says, get me some get Graybeard some Kleenex. No, I don't need any Kleenex. I'm good.
I'm gonna say, like, this has been like, I'm really liking this.
Well, this is my dragon roll
Mm.
container. It's gone. And here's the hurricane container. Can you tell which one I enjoyed more?
Yeah, yeah, sure can. I just did like a whole thing of rice with a little bit of green onion, so we're gonna try that one.
So this is but let's revisit a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
This is our fourth food
Mm-hmm.
pairing. We did first rotisserie chicken with the red wine.
Mm-hmm.
Did not go good. Not enjoy.
Well,
What was not prudent. The second one was I did a deep fried chicken with a white wine. You did
baked.
a baked chicken with a white wine. Was better than the first, but still not something that I would have considered a good pairing.
I think I enjoyed the rotisserie with the red wine better than I did with white wine. And full disclosure here, and I'm gonna say, it's because I'm not a white wine fan.
I see, and I'm a red wine. I love my red wines, but I do love my white wines.
And
And
I can pass on the white, unless it's
for me,
mixed
it
with
was
sangria.
reversed. Yeah, and for me, it was reversed.
I think it's because of that deep fried chicken. Here's my thing. I'm thinking deep fried chicken and cigars are no bueno.
I think so too. I think we've got to go with a, if we ever do a visit again, we've got to go with an oven baked skinless chicken.
And see, mine was oven baked. That's how mine was. So my thing is like anytime and here's mine. I think when you smoke a chicken, when you put a chicken on a smoker and you like do a beer can,
Mm-hmm.
because you have the wood, the beer, and all that other stuff that goes into it, you don't get the fattiness of the chicken, if that makes sense.
No, that makes absolute sense, and
But
and I think it's the fattiness of it that's killing the flavors.
that being said, the fattiness of steak and brisket don't kill a cigar. It's never killed one in my experience,
No, I agree.
which is like
So
insane.
okay, so our third one, which we both absolutely loved, was a hamburger
Mm-hmm.
and with a beer
Mm-hmm.
and a cigar,
Mm-hmm.
and that just knocked straight out of the park. And you went with a Whataburger, and I went with a more of a gourmet style
You
burger.
look bougie on me.
I did, you know. What can I say? Um, but still, I mean, it went exceptionally well.
Mm-hmm. But
Now
like,
we're here visiting sushi.
which a lot of people are like, you're insane, because like kind of when I told them, they're like, that's what the looks like. You're weird, and I'm like, well, that's what we do. We're twisted.
That's why this is the perfect name for the show.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Terrence is offering a suggestion here. Said deep fried chicken is better with a heavy dark cigar and a strong drink.
Because you're talking about fried chicken and a stout, maybe, and a like a red meat lovers kind of cigar, or what?
I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And it has to be like a Guinness. It couldn't be like a milky. I mean, like a like a flavored stout. That's what you know what I'm saying.
oh no, it's got to be
Yeah.
like a deep Irish stout.
Yeah, and that kind of reminds me of like chicken fried steak.
Yeah,
Mm. I'm
we're, we're
I'm
gonna
willing to try it.
we're gonna have to revisit again.
Hmm.
And at some point in time, we need to do the classic food pairing of all with a good steak and a red meat lovers.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to say a either a an Islay Scotch or like a rye whiskey. Either bring out that smokiness or bring out that pepper. Because
And,
otherwise your whiskey's not going to
yeah.
stand up to the
And,
to the
and, and I've had that before. And here's another thing. It also depends on how much you cut your steak or cook your steak. I can't talk tonight. So I'm telling you, when I say I like my meat mooing, my steak moves.
Oh, absolutely.
And I know that some people, heaven forbid, like there's like medium rare. And that's your palate, that's your thing. But and sometimes I have to eat it because some restaurants will not um provide me with the moving steak. Chamberlain's will. But a lot of restaurants, due to like health concerns and their law, what their rules are for
Hmm.
the restaurant, will not provide me with a moving steak. And so that has changed. That will change the flavor of it because you're going to get more of that char, more of the wood of however they cooked it, and or like the grill, because like a lot of them do it on grill and propane. So you're going to get that taste into it, and you're going to taste more of the bark versus if it's rare.
Now Bert comes back and says bougie people prefer medium rare steaks. Now come on, Bert, you know you like your steaks medium.
Yeah, that's why he said because he's bougie.
And I like a good medium rare steak. I like a good rare steak. You know what I say for people who like their steaks medium or medium well?
Hmm.
Bless your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Now
I,
I'm back to that sweetness.
I'm just sitting back and
You're just
savoring. I'm just chilling.
like Graybeard's just in chill mode.
I'm just chilling,
Like,
enjoying the cigar. I still have the flavors of the sushi. Still, I mean,
mm-hmm.
it's been another 10, 15 minutes since I stopped eating. I'm just enjoying the cigar and the lingering flavors from the food.
and,
And
and
this is really what it comes down to,
hmm
and why we're doing this is because when you eat food and you eat good food, the flavors are going to linger, and so you want to find a pairing, you want to find a balance in that, so as you're enjoying your cigar, because your cigar is going to generally last longer than you eat.
yeah,
You want that experience to continue on. You don't want it
mhm,
to all of a sudden be gone and now you're just getting the cigar, which is not a bad thing, but to have a good balance of everything to
right.
where it
When you remember.
continues that experience moving on.
So, welcome Joe to the show, and sorry, it's too cold. Here's the crazy thing. It is 77. It was 77 today. And like, was it last week or the week before? We were getting snow.
Well,
And
two
I'm
weeks ago we had to cancel it because
yeah.
it was too dangerous for me to drive down here, and it was too
Uh-huh.
damn cold for me to go outside.
Right. And the craziness of that, let me tell you that, is then it warmed up to 65. And it
Hmm.
actually got 70 in McKinney.
Oh,
So it was yeah,
it's 71 right now.
it reached no after the snow. So it
Yes.
snowed that Friday, it was 70, and then this week it's been back and forth like 30 and then 70, 30, 60, 40, 50. So like the last couple of weeks my allergy has basically given like allergies as long as everybody who suffers from major allergies in Texas has basically given us the middle finger. So just here recently I've been able to really expand my palate. Like last Friday my palate was not very very good. So yes,
So
so
shout out to Matt Martin.
good
Thank you
evening.
for joining us.
Mm-hmm. Hello, hello, hello. I'm like I really want to explore sushi more and poke.
I I do too. I want to explore sushi more. We're gonna have to switch it up next time. You do sushi and I'll do poke.
Pokey, pokey. Then I guess I can wear my kimono then.
You're wearing your kimono either way. That's the main reason because we want to see red in her kimono.
I even have the wooden shoes. I kid you not.
Oh Lord,
And the big belt and everything with the bow in the back. Kid you not. I have like 100%.
are you gonna do your hair up in a bun
That's too much effort. I love y'all, but no.
with the white the
Nation, go very
yes,
on you.
yes,
No.
do the full look.
Mm. I'm white enough that I don't need the makeup.
Okay, so next week we're
Um,
gonna have Philip, who's coming back to rejoin us again, and Philip
hello.
is the manager of the Cigar Lounge,
The general.
where
Mm-hmm.
Red is doing your internship with,
Mm-hmm.
and he knows his Lanceros, and so next week we're going to be talking about Lanceros And Lancero specifically, but talking about the different other types of vitolas in cigars, and just really what goes into the process, the business side of it, and such. Um, Bert did challenge us a food challenge for the following one, and he says apple pie. Let's do it. He says to do an apple pie with the Steve Saka cigar. So like maybe like the Sobremesa Brulee.
Well, I have the unicorn.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
I know a guy.
Nope.
I know a guy, or I know
Nope.
another guy.
Nope. Nope. I have to I'll have to see if I can reveal their name. Because if they don't mind me revealing their name, I'll reveal their name. But a lot of them don't want to be revealed.
On some of those cigars, like the unicorn, I don't blame them.
Yeah, because then people are like the Purple Rain or some of my other ones. Because then people will be trying to hit them up, like
Yeah.
and well, like my Goldie, I got an original Goldie from that first year. It was like from one of the original boxes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was the first year that she did it, the first Goldie. It has been sealed in a box. And then I got it a couple years ago. And I was thinking about smoking it on my 50th. That was like, because it's your golden, you know. But I don't know if I can wait that long. Who knows? I mean, you got to smoke it while you got it, right?
Right. Well, you still got a few years before you hit 50.
Yeah.
You'll be you're hitting 50, then I'll be hitting 60.
Yep. So, and, but, uh, then, yeah, but here's the thing is I'm starting
Uh,
to feel it because it's like that grandma, because I'm going to be a grandma. And I
mhm.
still am trying to find my name, my grandma name, because I
So we have a question that you have got to answer.
oh no, I'm scared because I can't see the question. How much have I actually haven't had that much? I really haven't. It looks like I have, but I still have. See, look, here's that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here, let me turn it around so y'all can see. So right there to the label, but
Mm-hmm.
majority of it is still in my glass because I'm partaking. Oh, there's
And, and see how much I've had.
but a large amount of that is still in my glass because I did a big, heavy, big girl pour. But I told y'all I couldn't speak before I started drinking tonight.
This is true. This is true, and I can testify to that because we had our pre-show conversation.
And so it has had nothing to do with my drinking.
Okay, so this is something that I just do not want to see. I'm sorry, Bert. Love your brother, but I do not want to see this whatsoever.
Even a man who has a great physique, I still don't want to see him in a Speedo.
Okay, so Bert's going way back now.
Yeah. The tequila and the champagne was a different story.
Oh, we both killed our bottles of champagne that night.
Yeah.
But
But
that was our
we have to celebrate.
yeah, that was a big show for us.
Hmm. Like, this is so, I've really enjoyed that. And it's kind of like a chill. Oh, not that unicorn. Yeah, I'm excited about that unicorn. He gave me a very good unicorn. No, it's actually the name of the Steve Saka cigar is called the unicorn.
Yeah, it's the one that comes out once a year and it's like a 90
$100.
plus $90 cigar.
Yeah,
And it's in its own coffin.
yeah. I wish they would come up with another name besides coffin. I think we should rename it.
I think he should rename the cigar from unicorn because that's what we use to describe a cigar that you can't find anymore.
Like the
Like
gold
a lot of the NFGs, like the Goldie,
and
we
the one
describe,
that Terrence is talking about.
yeah,
That's a unicorn.
we talk a lot about cigars that you can't
Hmm.
get anymore as unicorns.
And you can
And
get that
Steve,
one.
yeah, it's,
This has been a very pleasant evening because the weather is perfect.
yep.
It has been amazing food. And let me tell you, Gray Bear can testify that I really don't eat that much. Like I'll eat like half of kitty burger. Like a kid's burger, I'll eat half. I don't eat that much.
And that bowl was very full when we started.
Oh, I have been totally like chowing down.
Well, I don't know about you, but I think this is a good time to just wrap this up and call it an evening. What do
Yeah,
you think?
I think so too. So, raw fish, sushi, cigar, and Japanese whiskey. You should try it.
Yes. Get
Yep.
get out there and try some of these.
Hmm.
And as we said before, if you weren't able to come with it with this particular pairing on the show, we want to hear back.
Hmm.
Go and comment on our on the videos on Facebook
Hmm.
or on YouTube or on LinkedIn if you happen to be
Yep.
watching from LinkedIn. We want to see the comments and we will absolutely
Hmm.
reply back afterwards. So next week, come with your favorite Lancero.
Yes, it's Lancero month. It'll be at
And
the end of Lancero month.
we'll be at the end of Lancero month. Come with your favorite Lancero, whatever you drink you want to pair with it. I am going to ask you, if you come with the Lancero and you come with a particular pairing, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to call you out and ask you why you chose that particular pairing. We love seeing where people have learned and have, their
Hmm.
palates have grown and they've really put thoughts into what they're pairing to their cigar.
Yeah,
So next month, Lanceros, or I mean next week, Lanceros. Uh, we're still trying to nail down some guests. I've got a couple that I'm talking to. I know that Red's got some that she's talking to. Uh, but until next week, explore the pairings.
there's something for everyone. Cheers,
Yep.
y'all.
Cheers. Good night, everybody.